People, how we doing out there? First things first, my name's Kenneth Bird. We're going to be doing some work on the medieval. And I put some poster boxes down to keep my table from getting jacked up. I use my large boxes, but that'll keep my table safe until, and I can't jack up my boxes here because I need them for orders, so you can't jack up my boxes. So I got a little area here. I'm gonna lay my brush on, my this will come on. And skip from there. All right, plug this baby in. Got some nice cool air on me. Cool air. And let me see. I need what do I need here? I need we got scissors, right? Scissors up here. And pen. I think I'm gonna have to get a more stiffer paper because that paper is like too flimsy for what I need to use it for. I don't know. Ooh, what are you doing? Where are your toys at? There's a bunch of toys over there, Jack. Let me see. Put my whatchamacallit on. There's some medieval music. People used to call me on the cell phone. Let me see. What am I missing here? I'm missing. I got scissors. I got the heat gun. I got glue. So I'm missing something. Oh, paper. My paper. Where's my paper? Yeah, water piece in it. Much water piece in it. Let me see something under here. Oh, that's not you. That's what are you? You are. Yeah, you would be that. That paper. That gun on it without damaging my scenery. Right there. I'm going to work on that. We're going to put our shingles in there. Working on that one next. Alright, cut my little bits, pieces and stuff. I'm going to start my shingles. Don't we have enough cover over here cut already? I'm going to take some of this stuff right here and these will make my scenery. Oh, what are you? Let's see. Okay, let me see. It's all right. More shingles in. Let's see. Microphones on this side or microphones on this side? Microphones on my side. All right, cool. Copyright free medieval music. You heard me the first time, buddy boy. Copyright free medieval music. think I'm gonna sit back and watch some documentaries too while I'm at it on some things which I need to know about. Like evergreen trees. I was out doing my recordings and I was looking at the evergreen trees and probably I just am curious to know why do evergreen trees always stay green? I know some people already know that question already, but I'm just curious to find out why do they always stay green. Alright, I'm putting my little shingles in. The tiny ones we gotta put in. Our little shingles. We're off on our camera again. There we are. Now I gotta sit back and wait for equipment to come in again, so means I got time to do some building. Waiting for my PC parts to get here and some stuff I'm gonna need. Finish my work. So I'm going back into my world. Excuse me. Oh, these are all dried out. They taco? Okay, doke. Wow. Look at you, fur boy. So I'm going to get into getting some of this done. And then I loaded up a PC version of Hawkins on my PC, my home front. So I can go in there and game on that. I really do like that game. It's a really good game. Hawkins. This is not nice. So. Contact some people tomorrow about getting ready for 2024, 2026. Ooh. We have people already placed their pre-orders in. We have pre-orders for that screen. So we made some final decisions. The larger pieces that we have, they're too thick. They're way too heavy. They're way too heavy. Those thin pieces we have there, like the Flex, are fantastic. So we're going to be using those at 48 by 48 and 48 by 96. Much more lightweight, easy, flexible, and lightweight. We want it to be as easy as possible to install these things. All right, I need some more of these. All right, this is way too thin. Freeze these, put these up. Got fans on that side. I think I'm going to start working on Michael. Is it Michael? Georgia Giant. It's Georgia Giant. Look at the microphone. So building my giant. Get his scenery done. This is pretty simple. This is some of the last detail we have to do on the blacksmith's home. Ordered me a set of long brushes so I can get into all the little detail areas and the different type of LED lights I'm going to install it in, so you can bring all that to life. Oh, you don't want to stick up there, do you? You're right there. Get up there. It's so easy. Just get on up there. Getting the Spider-Man hands. Everything's linking to everything. Well, don't hide anything in there. Use everything I got in here. That's going back to his area. The thinner ones. Actually, that would come in handy. The thinner ones would definitely come in handy for that. Okay, got you pretty good. I shoot straight down on this one. This one on the back. I want the same thing right here. Oh, I want a shingle here. Shingle there and put it that way. Got two shingles in there. It's just this fantastic tree. Too much of that. Okay. Definitely will be a part of the build. Oh, you do too much. So copyright free. I got to narrow that one.
Yeah, because it's copyright free. So when you can music, none of it. It's not copyright. It's copyright. How do you do that? You're in trouble. This music up here is not copyright free. Why do you even have it up here? Jeez. The freak.
A whole list of music. None of that stuff is copyright free. You just deliberately trying to get you in trouble. Why'd you even have it up there? Now, I particularly do these builds because this is what relaxes me. And to be out today and do some demonstrations. I had to be on my multiple sites, do my demonstrations. I got business meetings coming up, and this allows me to be able to relax. So, I am going to be in my own little world right now, talking to the master carpenter that's now contracted to work on our nice little marketplace. Installing in shingles so the merchandise doesn't get wet. There's a nice little conversation with his people that are asking him to maybe add more detail to their cottage, or actually to the marketplace. No. Got the shingle underneath that one. This one needs to stay put. Or you're not supposed to be out like that. Come on, you know better than that. Get in there and stay. You already in there. Get another piece in there. Stay right in there. There we go. That's good. I'm gonna pick up some more glue tomorrow. So it's giving me more ideas, more things to put together. More ideas on our little houses over here. Tomorrow I think I'm gonna start putting in the paint job for the landscape. Really, stop dropping those things. You need them. Let's go down to the park and pick me up some branches so I can begin the process of making my trees. So we're working on our landscape. Outside mountains.
That Lucky Lakes. Lucky Lakes is not that.
Lucky Lakes has its own land on it. I'll build me another one of those. A little cottage. Alright, this is where we're going to start hitting narrow areas. So we're going to have to There's shingles in those real hard areas. Dang, I forgot to put this phone. We gotta go get that thing cleared and we use it for the PC. I'll pick that up tomorrow. Okay, there's a nice shot right there for that. Ooh, that'd be a tough one. Okay, sugar. It's out there. Doing my recordings and smoke crowd. Smoke crowd was out there. That's the name I'm giving them now. So I find it interesting the conversation on basically which one is more lethal, the vape or the smoking, which they were having a nice conversation on that. Neither. I love how people smoke vapes. At the end of the day, I literally have, when the place I was at, there were a bunch of them on the porch. Literally say at the end of the day that they're safer. No, you're both going to destroy your lungs. You know, the crazy thing about it is, even after you're done smoking, you quit, your lungs are damaged. They're still black. To run the risk of getting cancer. That's why when I look at some of these stars, I can look at the stars and see, you know, where they're at now. And they'll have some of them that died like in their 40s or 50s. And I'm like, how the heck you die in your 40s and 50s? Like, what happened? Moon was actually in his 40s. I'm like, what in the world? Like, what happened? Like, car accident or something happened? He had throat cancer. And I was like, oh, thank goodness. Like, I hope, yeah, a lot of cigarettes. Smoked a lot of cigarettes. Chain smoker. And that's what did it. So it's a shame. It's a shame. I wish people didn't. But you see, you know, you can't have it. The fact that they won't bring them in the building to smoke, that should tell you how dangerous it is. But, you know, it's an addiction at the end of the day. It's hard to quit. Some people can quit cold turkey. They can do it. And some people really can't quit at all. It's a hard thing to do. But I would say get some help because shortening your lifespan. You know, nobody, you know, it's okay when you're out there smoking and all. But who the heck wants to go to the hospital and hear that news? Doctor comes in and says, hey, look, you know that coughing you've been doing? Yeah, you got cancer. Nobody wants to hear that. That's some scary scary stuff, man. So, but I walk away from that stuff altogether because I don't want to breathe any of that stuff in. I'm very careful about what I have around my lungs. So, I'm on the porch talking or chatting with you. I'm not. Secondhand smoke is extremely dangerous. So, no, I'll be far away from you. The vaping is just as dangerous for people who think that it's not. It's just as dangerous. You're still breathing it, inhaling the chemical into your lungs. See, everything feels great, right? But man, when you get that freaking problem with your lungs, oh my God, it's gonna be unbelievable. I don't wish it on anybody. It's pain. It's painful. It's very, very painful. So, I hope they get some help on that stuff, you know? Very, very dangerous. Nobody thinks about death until it's time. Nobody ever thinks about it until it comes up. And then you think about it all the time. So, I pray, say a little prayer and walk away. Hopefully they'll get some help and stop it, you know. So, things progress and get worse. I'm curious to look up who started the very first cigarette. How did all this get started? And who just came with the idea and says, man, I'm just going to grab this and just smoke it? Like, who came up with it? Just going to grab this and just start smoking on it. Now, you can't, some people sit back and say, well, it's the Indians. No. People were smoking long before the Indians. Long before the Indians. Crack a book, please. I try to blame everything on the Indians. Poor Indians. People were smoking long before that. Shoot, back in the old days, they had something called snuff. It was opium. Put on a little spoon and they up their noses. Yeah, some of it was tobacco, but some of it was opium. Yeah. Chewing tobacco. People get throat cancer off of that. Extremely dangerous. But then some people beat the odds. To beat the odds is rare. It's really rare. Some people live all the way up to 90 years old and still smoke cigars like George Burns. George Burns lived to be 90 years old and smoked cigars. That was his thing. His cigars. And he lived to be 90 years old. But some people, it's rare. It's rare that happens. They have that effect. I knew people like that. I knew people way up in their 80s, smoke, drink, everything you think of. Like, gee, these people gonna die. Nope. They didn't die. They lived to be almost like 90 years old. Like, whew. But everybody's body ain't built that way. They're just lucky. Nothing. No cancer, not a thing. Nothing at all. I knew people like that. Drink and smoke every single night they out there. Every night, smoke and drink. They're the kind of people that can have a cigarette right at the edge of their lip and drink at the same time and then blow smoke out. Like, what kind of cross combination is that mess? Yep. And nope. There's a female I knew at the end of the day. She is thin as thin can be. Eat like a horse. Nothing. No. And then her time came, she had 90 years old, she passed. I'm like, how in the world? But some people like that, they got that. They got that system for it, and everybody got it. So curious, which I'm interesting, that if these cigarettes, mind you, the cigarettes they had back then didn't have filters on them, so, figure that one out. In the Wild West, they rolled them things up with the tobacco and lit them up. They ain't had no freaking filters on those things. I gotta look up. I'm gonna watch a whole entire documentary on the cigarettes, tobacco, like how it got started and all that stuff. I'm curious because if people back then got cancer from it, they really didn't know how to treat it. Because I mean, our technology today is a little bit more better to slow it down than that. What they had back then, how did they get past ailments like that? The person just died. That's all. All you could do. But you didn't have the stuff we have today. So you don't even want to know what goes on in the medieval era when they were doing surgeries. Good gracious, sanitation, which is not there. Sanitizing those instruments were not there. A lot of people got cross-contamination and died from poisoning. Yep. And some of their medicine was very prehistoric. They believed in leeches and bleeding out the skin and all. It's just crazy stuff, man. Most people just died from the surgeries alone. But I'm curious, like, how many people died of food poisoning back then compared to people dying of food poisoning now? Well, that's a jacked up. I've been to food poisoning 6 times. I did it 6 times. A couple of them was my fault. A couple of them was somebody else's fault. Sheesh. Boy. And I lived through all 6 of them, too. I made it through all. Took them one left and put me in the hospital. But anyway, yeah, man, food poisoning is brutal. Brutal. I think I can get past everything else. The only thing I can't get past is that freaking your body freezing. When you're sitting there in the middle of summertime, you got all these hoodies on, and you just move a little bit. If you stay in one spot, it's warm. But the minute you move, like somebody stuck your body in a freezer. Jeez, that temperature change is the worst. I don't mind the freaking throwing up part and everything else. It's that freaking temperature change. That is horrible to go through. Oh, man. So what did they do back then? They go through a situation like that. So that's why I'm curious about stuff. This is why I can never be bored. Always researching something. Like I'm looking at evergreen trees. Now somebody probably knows this answer already, but I'm going to look it up for myself. Why are evergreen trees always green? Everything else dies and comes off the tree. The evergreen tree is still there. So what's an evergreen tree that makes it so it stays green? So that means all the trees on the top of that hillside are evergreens. Because if they weren't, you could literally see the antennas from there. If they weren't. Did you ever ponder? You ever ponder before? Ponder? I ponder all the time. And Kramer said, George, you ever ponder? So why is that? See, they'll tell me why, but I need to know the physical truth of how and why. How does it do this? This is a question I haven't asked myself in a while. I was supposed to find out about this, and now I'm just not remember I was supposed to ask about this. On the old smoker trains, what was that piece in the front called? What is a cow pusher? No, not the piece in the front. Is the rail in the front of an old smoker train called a cow pusher? A cow catcher. I knew that was what had to be what, a cow pusher or cow catcher. Designed to push obstacles like cattle and wildlife. Man, I freaking love it, man. I was wondering what the freak that was. Like at the front of the train. I know I heard it somewhere before. It's a cow pusher, or animals or obstacles out of the way of the track. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said I do that all day, man. I love to learn stuff. A little bit smarter than what I was yesterday. Cow pusher. That's interesting. Or anything else gets in the way you push it off the track. They got one on my Lino train. I'm like, what the frick are you? I'm gonna look you up. Where are you? Why do they keep putting this in front of the trains? That do. Charlie said, we got good and plenty. Charlie said, when we ring the bell. Favorite candy in the entire world? Actually, no. That'd be candy corn. Good and plenty's. Black licorice. I love black licorice because the good and plenty's have black licorice in it. And everybody can eat good and plenty's. Good and plenty's is like, a lot of people can't eat it because of that black licorice. I love good and plenty's. That's my short. I love good and plenty candy. We had that talk. Favorite candies. You can tell old school from new school, because old school be breaking out like freaking like, they like the freaking Alexander the Great, lemon heads, red hot, Now-Laters, dip and stick. Some of you don't remember them dip and sticks. I do. The candy cigarettes. That's way back. Candy cigars. I remember them when they came out. We had them around over. We got candy cigars. They're pastel colors. What was the other thing we had? Freaking Boston baked beans. Wasn't a big fan of Boston baked beans at one point. Now I like them. Bitter honey. Mary Jane's. There's another one for the shot right there. Oh, the Now-Laters, man. It's a shame they don't have the Now-Laters when I was coming out as a kid. They got like the usual Now-Laters, but they don't have the ones when I was coming up. We had the cinnamon, we had the vanilla, we had the chocolate. They don't have those anymore. I don't think I've seen chocolate ones in a while. What other candies we had back in the day? Hubble Bubble Gum. I remember the commercials for Hubble Bubble Gum. What was the other one we had? Hubble Bubble Gum. Let me see. Alexander the Great, Boston. Oh, Red Hots. I remember the Red Hots. Oh, I love the Red Hots. Were freaking good. Hot Tomatis. What's another one they had? Hot Tomatis. I can't think of the other ones we had back in the day. Hot Tomatis was one of them. I remember the one with the Army Man in it. The one you throw it up in there had the propeller on it, had the parachute. Get a little piece of candy had a parachute. The Army Man. Remember those? When I was a kid having those. Tootsie Pops and the Charms Pop. Charms Pops shrunk. They used to be real big. They used to be the size of a $50. Now they shrunk those suckers. They're small. Like little nickels now. They changed all that. Man, everything changed, man. When I was a kid, man, everything changed now. It's not the same. King Vitamin tastes like dog food. Freaking Count Dracula. And they don't even taste the same no more. They taste phony. They don't even taste the same. The only thing that really tastes where I can get along with is Captain Crunch and freaking Lucky Charms. But the rest of them cereals, man, they went downhill, man. Wasn't too big of a candy bar fan. Or potato chips. Potato chip might have been, it'd be hers potato chips. That was my thing back in the day. Barbecue hurt if I did eat them. Oh, the soda pop candy. I remember those too. The fizzies. Can you buy fizzies anymore? The root beer soda pop candy called fizzies. Oh man. Yes. This is what I'm talking about, people. When I was a kid, we had a candy called Fizzies. Fizzies. Popular full wrap tablets in the 1960s. They had it when I was a kid. They called them Fizzies. Tastes like rose soda too. Pop Rocks. Pop Rocks was Pop Rocks. Remember Pop Rocks? You can't even eat them at one point. They said the kid from Mikey ate them and his head blew off. Everybody stopped eating it. over a rumor. Let's put a company out of business over a rumor. If somebody started some dumb rumor saying, "Hey, look, if you eat Pop Rocks and you mix it with freaking it's a Pepsi or Coke, one of them, your head will blow clean off." And for some reason, they said the guy from Mikey, he died, and everybody believed it. And that business almost went out of business over that nonsense. I found an individual, sue your socks off. That's crazy. Everybody believed it. According to who denied, I believed it too. You can't mix the two together. The ultimate urban legend. Imagine being alive when all that popped off. A&W root beer. I remember their commercials, A&W root beer. Even their cereal commercials were better. So, don't they even have cereal commercials today? I don't think they even do have cereal commercials today. They don't have them back then. Back then they had a whole especially Lucky Charms. Lucky Charms and Captain Crunch had a whole freaking cartoon by itself. Like you never knew what's going to happen next. The Be Continue. They always had a Be Continue on theirs. Reading the back of the cereal boxes, fighting over your brothers and sisters who got to read the back of the box, which was the best part. Because you got stuck with the ingredient side, which sucked at the end of the day. Oh man, those were the good old days. The good old days. Yep. Pop Rocks. Look at that. My mom forbid us not to have those things. Couldn't have Pop Rocks. Because some stupid rumor. Hey Mikey, he likes it. There's another one ahead. Shoot, Jolly Ranchers weren't even. When did Jolly Ranchers come out? I'm curious about that. When did Jolly Ranchers come out? Whoa! Alright, I'm sadly mistaken. Jolly Ranchers have been out since 1949. That's interesting. I don't even remember having Jolly Ranchers when I was a kid. Wow, that is freaking interesting. Circus Peanuts. That's another one too. I freaking love Circus Peanuts. Favorite was Circus Peanuts. It was so sweet. I love sugar. It's so much sweetness in it. So much sweetness. Sweetness in Circus Peanuts. I told you we're going to need the freaking pen. I need a pen for the doors. You don't have one on you. Go get yourself a Sharpie today. You'll be able to get one. No, we don't have an ink pen. Is this an ink pen? Yes, it is one. I don't want. There we go. Yes. Sour candy. I did not do any type of sour candy. I hate anything sour. I can't even eat the lemon heads. Things were disgusting. What's this one? Weird little Sour Patch Kids. Candy cigarette. I don't believe we're allowed to have candy cigarettes when I was a kid. You got that like you smoking? Things are much different. Much different. So, I wish I could go back. I do miss it. Nothing's the same anymore. Halloween, all that, Christmas, not the same anymore. Can't watch the Tyco commercials anymore. Tyco. So you knew Christmas was coming. You saw the Tyco commercial as far as racing around the track. Brought to you by Tyco. Snake track. I got the snake track and just about every Tyco track my mom got me. Snake track is a nice one. You can bend the track up any way you want. Turn out the lights, the whole thing will glow. The track you can put up on the wall defies gravity. That's pretty hot. I had the 18, I had the Dukes of Hazzard, I had Knight Rider. I had just about all of them. Knight Rider had one. They had one with a cross track. We can smack into each other, loop the loops, high bank curves. Let's sit back in the dark and watch those cars fly around the corner. Little lights pop on. Best way, man. RC had cars too. Was it RC, RCA? RCA, yeah. I think it was RCA, RCA. There's any other company that had them cars too, but Tyco was the one to get. Which one's cars were a little bigger and the tracks were wider, but Tyco was the one to get. I got them on eBay for a good price. I'm gonna go buy me one. Like a blast from my past. Put that door together. And even complaining like, hey, we haven't had a door in yet. We're putting the door in right now for you guys. And all kinds of wildlife have been creeping in here, buddy. We got you. Putting the door in right now. Let me see. Let me get your handle ready. Jawbreakers. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? The world will never know. A 1, a 2, a 3. This out there do dirty on this freaking blow pop. Get you dry. He also. The sticky fingers off. Maybe over here, buddy. There we go. Oops. That one to go. So we will make it go. Let's try it again. Alright. She should be nice and sturdy for our drawer. Nice right there. Let's finish our trim here. So lift up just a little bit in there. Make sure that stays in there. Go. Put our long shingles in. Seeing something, I watch my episode of Twilight Zone. I watch one every day. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Let go, go, go. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. Off my fingers. So I watch one every day, the Twilight Zone. Man, I like the black and white ones. That's my favorites. And a couple of really good ones on there. So, really enjoyed those ones they have on there. I like the black and white ones, the old-fashioned ones. Like the way our shingles are coming in. Cut some of these a little crooked. There we go. Oh, so they're so happy. They're getting their front door put on. Yes. Adding in the shingles for the roof. We don't need this because this covers most of the roof right there. How could you not listen to that music and be happy? That music is very, very happy music. So, the one I saw was called The Guy Did Not Get Well with Machines. I wasn't what it was called, but anyway. He did not get along with machines. Like, for some reason, the machines did not like this guy. And he was always a very nasty human being. Very mean and very bitter. Treated people awfully. And he treated the machines horribly. And he always thought it was their fault, but the machines just didn't like him. His typewriter, his TV, his clock, all that just didn't like him. Long story short, machines conspired to get rid of him. So, he's a very rich and wealthy man. And in the end, he ended up alone in his house, fired his secretary, because the only person who was in there. Fired his secretary, and no sooner than she left, the typewriter started speaking to him. Kept typing over and over again for him to get out. Get out of the house, get out, get out, get out. And he was not going to leave his house. So he tries to go upstairs, and the radio's playing for him to get out, and the TV's playing for him to get out. And he smashes the TV, smashes the radio. And then goes upstairs and tries to get some rest and plugs in his clippers to trim up his mustache. And it started moving like a snake back and forth. Scared me, started running down the stairs and back to the clock that he smashed it. Now you can hear crystal clear donging over and over and over again. And he goes upstairs to try to get away from that, and now the clippers are coming down the stairs like a snake. So he runs outside, and what's out there waiting for him? His car. His car starts chasing him around the property, and I don't know why he would get a pool put in if you can't swim, but apparently he put a pool in, and the car trapped him between him and the pool, and he jumped and he died. So he was a person that wasn't very liked. And he abused his machines, smashed them all the time, and it didn't work the way he wanted them to work. Everything had to work the way he wanted. If it didn't, if it got a little static, he smashed his radios, he smashed his TV, and the guy mechanic who came in said, "Look, I can tell simply you're abusing these machines," and apparently the machines killed him. That was actually a pretty good one. And the bank robbers was an amazing. I like that one actually. The bank robbers it was good about these guys. One guy was a scientist, and the rest of the guys they were pretty thugs. You know, they worked. One was a safe cracker, another guy was more the muscle. It was 4 of them, and they decided what they were going to do is they were going to rob this bank, get all this gold, and they're going to go up into the desert, and they're going to have these machines that put them asleep, cryo stations that put them asleep. And they figure by the time they wake up, you know, no one will be chasing this money anymore, and they'll walk away with all this money, and nobody will know who they are because everybody had died off. Centuries later, and everybody would have been dead. They forgot about the case. They would have been dead. And they took gold. That's what they took, big gold bars. So when they woke up, one of the guys didn't make it because a piece of the cave had came down and cracked his capsule, and he died. So he didn't make it. But the other 3 did. And here's the greed setting in already, thinking about I can keep all this money to myself. That starts to kick in now. You know, I get rid of the rest of these guys, I can keep all this money and be rich. To give them none. Which they had more than enough for all of them, but you know, greed sets in. So, bit by bit, they start plotting on each other, how to get rid of each other. So one guy, as they stack all the gold into the back of the truck, he decides that he's the driver. He's going to take off with all the gold and leave him out there. But the other guy was smart. The strong arm, he took a gun with him. He pulled out his gun, he fired a couple rounds, he hit the guy. Guy crashed the vehicle, he died. So now there's only 2 left. So they decided to divvy up the gold between each other. But the thug at the end of the day, he was thinking at the end of the day, you know what? He had no more bullets in the gun. He wasted them all in the truck. Mind you, they're way back in the day. So they're not carrying automatics and clips and all that stuff. They're carrying revolvers. You only get so many shots in those things, and I guess he didn't think to carry any bullets. But anyway, it's just him, and they're now out in the desert. Because they went out in the desert to put these castle units, and there's nobody around. So they're going to have to make it back to civilization, and there's nothing out there. and they're dying of thirst. So the mussel is smart. The mussel brought a canteen of water with him. None of them brought anything with them. So he told them, look, you can give me, if you give me a gold brick, I'll give you a sip. So he took just about everything from him. He had one brick left. He drank most. They took the brick from him and drank that water and gave him no water. He was going to die anyway. He didn't care. So now the guy on the side of the road, he died, and now he's got all the gold, and he's laughing at how rich he's going to be, and all the money and the dames. Mine was way back in the day, and the dames, and how he's going to be this millionaire now. You know what I mean? Look at me now, Mom. You know what I mean? You always thought I'd turn out to be to the heat, and he was about to die. And this car came up. This car from the future was floating, came up. And the guy got out and walked over to him, and the guy was trying to hand him one of the gold bricks for water. Water. He was giving him the gold brick. And the guy looked at him and was like, go back to the car to get the water. Came back, the guy was dead. And he said, it's the strangest thing. I saw this guy on the side of the road, and he was trying to hand me a gold bar. And he said, do you realize that gold is worth nothing now? So they stole and went through all that to find out that in the future, gold is worth nothing. The paperweights. Yep. Isn't that interesting? Never know what the future will bring, right? Murdered each other, greed, stole, robbed, to end up with absolutely nothing, because the very thing they stole was worth absolutely nothing in the future. Yeah, I find that interesting. I think I'm going to leave that pulled up. I like that. It's giving me, if it's telling me that's the way it's got to be, then that's the way it's got to be, because I like how that's working right there. Sometimes I have a piece that don't go all the way down, and it just pushes up a little bit. I'm like, maybe that's the way it's meant to be. Just leave it that way. It's meant to be that way. Now the shopkeeper is very happy. He's got his door, putting the last of his shingles in for his roof. And do some back detail for the back area. Step it up a little bit for him. Thank you, buddy. This window was really, really interesting to put in. But different than the rest of my little side windows. But it went in quite nicely. Somebody says they remind me of the houses from Metal Slug. They kind of look like it. Metal Slug. Okay. Oh, I hate that nonsense. Are you still here? I hate that crap. Which woman had doing that in COVID? Freaking Netflix did that crap in freaking COVID, and YouTube did it a lot too. Are you still here? Where else would I be? Honestly, let's keep it real here. I gotta have her doing it. Are you still here? We need a little bit in here. So just trying to come up a little bit there. start a program where people can get their roofs fixed for free. Do you know what a headache of having a leaky roof can be? Some people can't afford to get a roof fixed. You know that? It can be an expensive process. It can be. But I want to start a program that will allow people to get their roofs fixed for free. I went through that. I lived in a place with a very leaky roof for a very long time. And I wish somebody would come over and fix my roof for me. But nobody would. So I had to live with that leaky roof. Caused a lot of problems for me. So I know there's people out there that went through what I went through. My roof leaked so bad that I had a piece of large plastic that went from one end to the room to the next. It would gather all the water up. And I had a little hole there that would catch all the water. That's how badly my roof was leaking. And at one point, these plastics ended up covering 90% of the ceiling from the place I was living in. Sometimes the Lord puts you through something like that because it gives you a chance to understand what other people go through in life. So I learned that if I ever came into something or if I ever had a way to help somebody out, I would basically give them the money to fix the roof because I've been through it myself. I know what that's like. It's very stressful when you have a roof that leaks like that. So I thought it'd be interesting that what I could do is basically, you have kids who are going to school for carpentry and all that stuff. They can basically earn points to their internship for repairing someone's roof that we would pay for. That way they get experience on an actual roof to be able to work on it, and the homeowner gets a new roof. So, I don't know. When I tell people in the day, people think they know me. You don't know anything about my life, or what I've been through, what I had to go through in life, the travels that my Lord I had to go through in order to reach this point in my life. You have no idea. I know what it's like to go hungry. I know what it's like to be homeless. I know what it's like to go through all that. Lose your freedom, lose it all, everything. I know what it's like. I have walked on those tracks before. I know what it's like to have no place to live and sleep on a park bench. And still know that the Lord protects you. So I know what that's like. So I always make sure I always have a little money in my pocket. Even if it's my last, if the person asks for it, they can have it. Because I know what it's like to have without. I went and got myself today. I got 16 more coming in. Big packs of ramen soups. I donate these to the church. I got 16 more coming in that I ordered. I'm getting them by bulk. I got chicken. I'm gonna get beef. I'm getting. I saw the cream one, and it had the shrimp. But I want them to have a selection. So I'm donating these to the church. It's to feed somebody. I want to do the cups of soups too on top of that. And they got hot water. They can come and get hot water for them too. If they need hot water, something to cook their food and everything. So that's what I want to do. I want to give out. Start stacking up on these. Use my business tax wholesale license to get these in bulk. And that way, I can, so I can get a hot meal. Doesn't have something to eat. And I get those for a very, very good price on my wholesale license. So I'm going next week. I'm going to get me a bulk of them in different flavors, and I'm giving them over to the church so they can help the homeless. You know, people now that they got all settled in, forget the food banks. The food banks are the ones that helped you when you were going through that bad situation. Don't forget. And even federal workers at the end of the day. You had to go to food banks, didn't you? One person said, I never thought I would be in a place. Yeah, never. At the end of the day, when you say that you never thought, you know, you can easily walk a mile with someone's shoes extremely easy. I was supposed to say, be careful how you treat people on the street. Homeless people, people that have nothing to eat. When you're walking outside, belly full, and you can't give them $1 or $2, you can easily end up in that situation. You can easily lose everything you have. Now, I didn't say all those federal workers, can't say that at the end of the day, but I'm pretty sure with some of them, they pretty much basically ignore the person when they wanted something to eat, and now you find yourself sitting in a food line. You can't figure out where your next meal's going to come from. You don't have a paycheck anymore. That quick, you can lose it all. That fast. Don't take much. Lord will make you walk in another man's shoes. You'd be surprised. So when those food banks ask for money, give. When they ask for help, give. You know, 1 minute you can be on top of the world, next minute you can lose everything. God will take it from you. You can lose everything, just like that. Lose your job, lose everything, just like that. A lot of people got those jobs working for the federal government. They thought in the day that those jobs are going to be long lasting, and those jobs are just like that. Gotta put your faith in God at the end of the day, because your livelihood could be just turned upside down, just like that, just like that. That easy, that quick. Anything could happen. So, but a lot of people prayed on that one. A lot of people prayed on it. Gotta be careful how you treat other people. This guy went out there. This woman was sitting out there in front of his store, and he thought it'd be nice to go out there with a garden hose and spray her with a garden hose. That's I don't care if she, at the end of the day, you don't spray somebody with a garden hose, especially in the middle of winter. You lost your mind. You got arrested for that. They threw him in jail for it. That's attempted murder. You spray somebody with a hose in the wintertime and they have no means of getting warm, dry clothes, that's attempted murder. Yeah, you got locked up for it. And keep in mind, as I explained to people before, jail does not take kindly when you mess with the seniors. When you mess with the seniors, when you mess with animals, when you mess with kids, you're going to get beat up. You definitely don't get messed up. It's definitely going to happen. They don't like that kind of stuff. That's somebody's grandmother at the end of the day. It's somebody's mom at the end of the day. It's somebody's sister at the end of the day. And the guy was like, well, she was on his side. Well, so let me tell you something at the end of the day. If somebody did that to your mother, your sister, your grandma, you'd be ready to throw hands at the end of the day. You're ready to hurt somebody. So why would this person need less respect at the end of the day because he's not related to you? I try to keep myself on a Christian level at the end of the day. But yeah, I'd have walked in front of that hose. I wish you would have sprayed me at the end of the day because you'd have got messed up that day. A woman? Come on, man. What kind of society we live in where we find that amusing and funny to see an old woman get sprayed with a hose? So now his business is getting boycotted. Ain't nobody going there to eat no more. And he's talking about he's going to go bankrupt. See how fast life can change on you? He's going to become that person pretty soon out there, and that other person got a GoFundMe account they set up for her. So she's going in a different direction, but he's about to lose his livelihood now. Gotta be careful how you treat people. I'm going to spraying that woman with a garden hose out there. If anything, you should have bought her and gave her a meal. He has a restaurant. Should have bought her and gave her a meal. But you don't want your customers looking at her. Oh, so she's not human. That is not right at all, period. You don't treat people that way. On the right in front of his store at the end of the day. She was, and you can tell she's a very nice person. She was telling him to stop. She wasn't crazy. She just lost her home. She lost everything. And you're gonna spray her with a garden hose? Yeah, that's a good way to get knocked out. You're asking for trouble. And sure enough, now his business is boycotted. People don't want to go there. They don't want to eat. They don't want to be affiliated with his business. And now he's losing his business. What comes around goes around. He's going to end up being in the same situation she's going to be at now. That's why you don't treat people like that. He'd have did much better if he had bought her out a meal or something to eat or bought her inside. That'd have been much better for him. But nope, he decided to take that route. And I had a nerve to see on camera while I was trying to help her find a place, spraying her with a garden hose in the middle of winter. That woman got hypothermia. Should have froze that. She could have died. They charged him with basically attempted murder. Now you're about to go through the system. You're about to find out what's it all about. Yep. They don't take too kindly to you messing with the elderly like that. Like I said, people understand. Just because you old or in a wheelchair, there ain't got no mercy for you in there. There's no mercy for you in there because you're in a wheelchair. There's no mercy in there because you're old. At the end of the day, you committed a crime, you're going to get the same beat down everybody else gets. They don't care about that. There's no mercy in there. Unbelievable. Disgusting. Disgusting. Poor woman. Well, at least now they're getting us some help. You know what I mean? That's good. You know what I mean? But that joker at the end of the day, yeah, he deserves to lose his whole business at the end of the day. That was wrong. Let's spray her down with a hose. Well, good luck in prison, because you're going to need it. You're going to get jacked up. Because if I was in lockup, and I just said, truth be true, and I found out you was in there for spraying some old woman, that's my grandmother today. That's somebody's mother at the end of the day. You know, if I wasn't walking on that side of the fence and I wasn't walking with the Lord, I'm definitely going to come over and mess you up. You're definitely going to get hit a couple times. I'm not walking with God. My mentality was when I was young, and I find out you spray somebody's grandmother down with a freaking hose, yeah, I'm going to jack you up. There, you don't even snitch. You better not snitch. My grandma could have bought her a meal. That's all you got to do. Give her some kindness. And then for the bums in the room that were sitting there saying, well, you know, that's justified. It's not justified nothing, man. That shows what kind of bum you are at the end of the day. Because you're going to sit there and say it's okay for to spray a human being down with a hose. That's okay. At the end of the day, you a bum too. I'm not right about that. What kind of society we live in? I thought about it. They brought back medieval punishments. Whew. You wouldn't see anybody getting arrested. You literally wouldn't. You'd have to be an idiot to get arrested. You ever look at medieval punishment? Oh my goodness. You got to be kidding me. It's like something out of a Saw movie. It is crazy. I looked that up. How they punish people at the end of the day for crimes. Good gracious. That whole put somebody in a cage and just leave them out there. That's why you come in, you see people in bones and, you know, they had died in a cage. You know, they don't feed you nothing. They just stick you in this cage and you just hang up there. And the sun, the heat, the rain, the snow, you're just up there. They'll bring you down. That freaking rock press, stick your body between two pieces of board and they stack rocks on you. Oh my God! I'm like, what? Really? Who came up with some of this stuff? Yeah, you would have no one getting in trouble with half the stuff they had going on. I don't even want to explain half the other stuff. It was pretty jacked up. But you know, I study history, so I looked it up and I was like, my goodness, I can't get through this whole thing. I can't even get through the whole thing. It was just messed up. But you know, look at castles. You know, the castles got freaking, they got torture chambers in there. So you're like, okay, let me go check out this whole episode. And I'm like, nope. And I'm going back to the happy place. Go back to the happy place. And I went back to watching how toilets were made and septic systems were designed and bathrooms and stuff. That was just more pleasant than that. But it's actual real history. It did actually happen. But wow. What the freak? Yeah, if they had that stuff today, oh, you would have nobody getting in trouble. The donking system? Stick you in a seesaw with a chair on the other end. They did this for people that they thought were witches. But still, they punished people with this stuff at the end of the day. The stockades were even worse. Stick you in those things at the end of the day. People did all kinds of evil things to you while you were in the stockade. If you're a woman in there, you know what happened, right? So you know. Yeah. What could you do? In there for a crime. They put you in there. And who else has some jacked at once? Oh, freaking the Roman Empire. Wow. She was. I'm glad I wasn't on board of that century, I swear. The Roman Empire was horrible. They did some crazy stuff in that one, too. So I'm like, geesh. And you think basically the death sentence that we have today is considered to be humane. Yeah, you go back, look in history, and see some of the stuff they did to people at the end of the day who basically committed crimes and stuff. It was definitely brutal. Was definitely the word for it. Definitely the word for it. I mean, worst that can happen to you back in that gladiator century. I mean, what they're going to do is, if you're a prisoner, they're going to stick you in the pit. So either going to be killed by a lion in there or a tiger, or one of them gladiators is going to basically murder you. Either way, one or the other, you're going. You're not coming out of there. You're definitely not coming out of there. They put them in there for sport. So they put a whole bunch of prisoners in there. They put them in there for sport to be slaughtered by these gladiators. I was like, sheesh. Put Christians in there too. They put a lot of Christians and children. Well, I'm telling you, they were ruthless back then. They put women and children in there to be slaughtered by lions and tigers and stuff like that. It was just crazy, man. I'm like, gee whiz. We Christians. They put Christians to death. So they put them to death. Women and children. They put them out there to be killed. Evil. I mean, evil stuff, man. Right? You know, everybody thought they got away with something and thought at the end of the day, I'm not going to pay for this. It's sitting in purgatory right now, suffering right now as we speak. But they thought they got away with it. There's people that went out and murdered kids and children, did all those ruthless, evil things, or centuries ago, thought they literally got away with it. They're suffering in purgatory right now as we speak. Begging for death that won't come. And keep in mind, that's the waiting room. That's not even the actual torture yet. The actual torture is what Satan torture. It has to suffer with you. So you're nowhere near at that stage yet. That's the beginning stage what you're going to be going through. But yeah. Read all that stuff, man. That stuff was heartbreaking to read through, man. And watch that documentary. Gee whiz, how ruthless can one be at the end of the day? Money, power, rich, being have all that power, just unbelievable. Yeah. And then they murdered each other left and right, like crazy for power, all for power. They murdered each other for power. Everybody was trying to stab each other in the back. You know that whole handshake they got when they grab your wrist? That's a handshake of trust to show that you don't have a dagger in there to stab somebody with. Because then you had to worry about somebody stab you with a dagger. People would sit there and be up in the roof area with a dagger that's weighted down on the handle with a piece of string and dangle it over top of you and cut it. Go right through you. Assassination. Poison your food, all kinds of stuff. Like, there's no way in the world. I'd rather just be a peasant on the outskirts and nobody knows who the freak I am than go through that freaking maniacal nonsense. And even if you were up there and you had power, you still had to worry about people that wanted your power at the end of the day. It was just crazy. Good thing in our little world, we don't have to deal with that. We don't ever have to deal with this because in our world, we don't have to deal with the humans. We don't have any humans in this world. This is a enchanted world. It's all elves. Elves and some other mythical creatures. Might put a unicorn in here too. Definitely got to put a unicorn on the mountainside. Oh yeah, why not? When we be George the Giant, let's put a unicorn out there in the distance for him. Because George loves unicorns. He loves unicorns. He draws pictures of unicorns. Yeah. I think that's what I do. I want to have a couple unicorns in the distance. I want to do like an enchanted forest so badly. You know what I mean? Go light a fire in the corner. You got the trolls. Like I said, trolls. These trolls are not, they're mischief. That's it. They're not basically kill, murder, not that. They're mischief. You know what I mean? They do stuff like steal pies off your shelves, I mean, off your windowsills and stuff like that. Spook the cows and the chickens and stuff like that. They do stuff like that. They're mischief. But they're not dangerous. But they are afraid of George. Because George is a giant. And they're right, Georgie Giant. Pretty soon we'll be making Georgie Giant. We have to sew all his clothes and make all his clothes by hand. So everything has to be stitched by hand for George. Even down to his little leather boots. Everything has to be made by hand. So we're going to get some leather. And we're going to make his boots. All his clothes. Sew in little buttons. And we're going to get the plastic, what do you call the styrofoam balls, and cover them over with felt and paper and make our George the Giant. He's a kid, by the way. George is a kid. Him and the king are very good friends. They're all friends with the king. And the king and queen are cats. We have to get ourselves a scholar too. Somebody's like, hi. We're gonna make him an owl. We'll make him an owl. That'd be cool. Make him a little owl now. I think we're going to make our own guys. I'm hoping that we can buy some of these guys, but I think we might be built some make some guys ourselves. I don't know. I never did play figurines before. Boy, if I could do that, that'd be pretty interesting. I'm curious if I can. Look at our little bags of flour. This is paper and cotton. I'm gonna write flour on them. Paint the bags up. Give it a little kind of a more of a mesh look to it. I'm going to be getting some burlap to get over top of them, so it has a more of a kind of a burlap look to it, like a little sack. So this is the other one right here. He is happy with the workies. I thank you so much. You're welcome. We still got to install the windows in, so the windows not yet. We got to put the plastic in for the windows, so I'm not going to put those in yet with the window seals. And this one has to be done with the window too. We need access to that too. So we have to do some detail work here. We have to turn this into a wooded area or wooded strips, and we need wooded strips there. So we're going to be working on both these. Let me put these over here, our flour bags, and let's get ready to get our wood strips down. What do we have for glue? We got enough glue? We're crazy like that glue. Crazy like that glue. Crazy like that glue. All right, good. So we have to bring this to life because that doesn't look real. I mean, like I said, back in that century, they didn't have huge sheets of wood. They had planks of wood. I gotta go look all that up. What do you think, Taco? When we do the Enchanted Forest, got some pretty cool stuff in there. Unicorns, a giant koi fish. I definitely want to put in a giant koi fish. Some mermaids. Oh, the mermaids are good, by the way. They sometimes go over to Lucky Lakes late at night. We got Daniel the Dragon. Can't wait to build that guy. Daniel the Dragon! Also, too, he's a kid. And a full-grown dragon. Which I told the interesting story how Daniel the Dragon actually became part of the kingdom. The king, in his days of knighthood, went on to slay this dragon that they said that was terrorizing the town, but he wasn't. He was just a small dragon. And when he went up to the top of the cave to slay this dragon, called out the dragon's name multiple times, and the dragon did not come out. He went in and found out that the dragon was just a baby. He decided to adopt the dragon and make him his own son. He doesn't have any kids. Or, his cat, by the way. And so, Daniel became his son. So, interesting tale that the kingdom, king and queen are cats, and their son is a dragon. Daniel the Dragon plays on the countryside. It's his best friend, George the Giant. All kinds of adventures. We might be able to get a little book out of this. Who knows? Let's begin over here. Ah, Taco, I got your picture. You want this? Ha! You can have this. This is yours. I cut it for you. You can take it. You want it? Here. It's yours. Here, bite it. Bite it. Ah, that's yours. Yeah, that piece of cardboard. I got plenty of them. Plenty of cardboard. We're going to write all this down. We're going to write a book? Taco, let's write a book. Let's write a book on the adventures of Daniel the Dinosaur. Oops, sorry, Daniel the Dragon. Daniel the Dragon. And Jewish Giant. And their wild adventures. I think I'm gonna make one of the ogres different. That one of the ogres, it's not like the others. He doesn't want to be mischief. He doesn't want to get in trouble. From time to time, he hangs out with them. But he has to be very careful that the other ogres don't see him because they'll be very upset with him. So we'll make an ogre too. So we're putting in our planks. And we still have a captain ship. It's haunted, by the way. Not in a bad way. At 12 o'clock at nighttime, they pop up. It's an old half-sunken ship on the shore. And they come out and drink their ale and have their shenanigans. They dance and drink on their ship in the moonlight. They have not accepted that they have passed on. They will continue to live their life as it is. They're going to bring this whole little world to life, piece by piece. And that's what we've been doing, assembling every piece by piece. Nothing here is pre-built, it's all done piece by piece. So everybody gets along in his kingdom. Pretty soon we're going to be taking a Lipton cup of soup and turn it into an enchanted mushroom. And then you'll get a chance to little tables and chairs and bookcases, fireplaces and wood burning stoves. I'm going to be buying these characters, by the way, and we build them to their height. See what goes on in their little world at the end of the day. Now we're putting it in short because we're going to overlap. It gives it a better effect when we brush it in. We put those in thinner. We do the other laps that fill in, like we did with the Lucky Lakes. Lucky Lakes is finished. So, the King's Castle doesn't have a torture chamber because, again, it's a world of peace and happiness. We have a tickle chamber. Yes, you'll be tickled with a feather. Do you agree to keep your agreement There's no, I'm going to put a giant feather in there, by the way. A giant feather. So, like, I couldn't stand it. I nearly wet myself. Alright, I agree. I will cut the bushes as a crease. One moment longer, I would have wet myself. Some heaviness in this world, some happiness. There we go with the thinner pieces. Trim those off. Yeah, what's up? That burned a little bit. See? There'll be pumpkin pie for dinner tonight. You ever play Trine? He's fighting the vines in the pumpkin patch. Oh, it's right in my fingers. Whew. I'm gonna buy the game Candyland. Play it with my family members. You ever watch how you assemble the trap for Chutes and Ladders? No, for Mousetrap? My goodness. I watched that one time. I was like, that's why we never got that thing together. Oh my goodness. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. That thing is freaking crazy to put together. Some people could get it together, but watch the tutorial video on how to assemble the Mousetrap, the game. You'll be like, what in the world? Like, it's actually crazy. Once you get it together, I guess you can never forget it, hopefully, because I would not want to go through that again. So the Master Craftsman is working on the staircase now for the mill. There we go. The stairs are fitted in nicely there. For our planks, trim those off. Put everyone in right here. Near the door. We still got to put a door in here. Still going to require a door. And we have the short planks over by the area here. Let's see these to put this in. Ooh, this is really kind of dark. I don't even have no big light over here for that. I'm gonna have to guess that one there. Let's see, does it fit? Oh yes, it does fit. Thank you. All right, cool. It's like he put in the whole thing and he forgot the stairs. Surely he was not going to forget the stairs. Were you going to forget the stairs? Yes. No, really. Put you right in there. Can you fit in there? You will fit in there. Okay. Whoa! Come back here. We need to just cut you just right, too. Just slide you right in there. There we go. Perfect. Another piece right here on the gun. That'll work just fine. Perfect. I can put you right in there. Right in there over top of this. There we go. Perfect. Get you behind my rope. The rope bridge. Yeah, it was interesting. We had to build that just like it's made out of rope. It actually swings a little swing rope right there to get that thing to come off right. Trim it off nicely. Oh, perfect. When we were kids, we had a porch like that coming up. We had a porch that was plank by plank by plank. One of the planks were loose. Oh, you found out. Like, I don't get it. It only took like 2 nails to put it back in. And for some reason, we just never put it back in. And someone would walk in, they hit that front piece, and man, that thing come up and smack you in the face like a cartoon. Bow! Right in your head. I think we got more entertainment watching each other get jacked up on that piece of wood. Nobody went and fixed it. We got entertainment out of it, watching each other get jacked up on it. Just like a Bugs Bunny cartoon. Just come up out of nowhere, rise up and just smack you dead in your head. That was from one of my other childhood homes that I grew up in. It's interesting too because how crazy and how interesting life is that my brother, oldest one, we didn't know he had kids. We didn't keep in contact with him too much. We didn't keep contact with us, but we didn't know he had kids. I bumped into one of them on Facebook, just like him. Bikes, motorcycles, weightlifting, the whole, just spitting image of him. So I met him, and I met he had a daughter too. Met the daughter, and he bought the house. He didn't even know us. We didn't even know he even existed. He literally bought the house that I grew up in. Somewhat grew up in. I spent most of my childhood there. But he bought the house. I didn't even know that. Because we know somebody bought the house. We just didn't know who. So he bought that house years later down the line. And when he showed up the house, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. That's the house I probably grew up in. Because I wasn't. People think at the end of the day that I was born in Philly. No, I wasn't born in Philly. And they think I was born in Newark, Delaware. I wasn't born in Newark, Delaware either. I was born someplace else. But no one knows about that. Because they don't know at the end of the day that I have 4 first names. Only used 2 of them. It doesn't show up anyways on the birth certificate, and in my birth certificate. It's a little hard to find because of the county I used to live in. I was in the county. Ah, see, think you know everything, but you don't know. Yeah, I grew up in a different county. I didn't grow up even in I didn't grow up in Philly. I spent majority of my life in Philly because I was a child when I left that place where I was born in. So I spent most of my life between Delaware. I spent more like 13, 14, 15, 16, and that's where I got in some trouble in Philadelphia. And I spent, and then when I got out, I spent remaining of all my time mostly in Philly, all the way up until roughly my, I'm 57. So roughly around 55? Yeah, 55. 'Cause I've been there for 2 years. I left when I was 55. But nope, I grew up in the country. Country home, take me home. Country road, sorry about that. But yeah, I grew up in the country. Yep. But I fell in love with Philadelphia when I first saw it. I came to Philadelphia a long time ago. I came to Philadelphia when I was in Delaware. My brother lived up here. He lived on Walnut Street. He had a nice old apartment over there. He had a roof deck apartment. A long time ago. Very, very long time ago. That building's not even there anymore. It's gone. They took it down. There used to be a costume shop underneath of it. And he lived up on the top floor. Him and his wife. And that's when downtown was downtown. I mean, there's some cool stuff in there. Arcades and movie theaters and all that stuff. That's when you had the boys. Was it boys or men's clubs? Whatever it was for clothing and stuff. But anyway, boys. It was boys. It was boys. Yep. And that's where we had an arcade. There used to be an arcade down there. There's an arcade right across from City Hall. There's a bunch of them over there. Bunch of arcade, pizza shops, all that in there before they changed everything over. And then right down on Walnut Street, they had movie theaters down there. I remember seeing the Return of the Jedi. That's how far back. Return of the Jedi. And I'll never forget, we went right to the movies, right downtown, and then went home. Because he lived right downtown. He lived too far from there. I'm thinking, wow, this must be an amazing place to live at. First time going to the gallery. Now, mind you, in Delaware, we had Concord Mall. Concord Mall only has one floor. It's like Franklin Mills, it has one floor. But when I came up here for like a bit of summer vacation, hanging out with my brother and watching his kids, I got a chance to chill in Philadelphia a little bit. I'd never seen it. Another mall with an upstairs and downstairs and sky elevator and all that. It was just mind blowing. Coming up here in the early '80s. Not mostly the early '80s. No, it's actually more than that. It's like '70s. Let me see. Blah 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 blah. 7. So. I gotta check back on that. When did we come up here? Where's this? Was it like the 70s? I remember 76. I remember that 78, 79. I think we came up here in the 70s. Roughly the 70s, yeah. We came up in the 70s. It was the 70s. Wow, that's crazy. That was the 70s. Yeah, it was the 70s, yep. Definitely was the 70s. Because the 80s, we weren't there. The 80s we were in Philly. What year did Steve Austin, the $6 Million Man, come out? Yeah, it was the 70s. Literally, it was the 70s. So it was the 70s when I came to Philly. When I first came to Philly. First time I came here, my brother lived up here first, and he brought me up here sometimes on summer vacation. I would come up and see Philadelphia. The first time I saw Philly was in the 70s. Gee whiz, Louise. Do you have any idea what Philadelphia looked like in the 70s? That changed a lot. That's at the time when William Penn was the tallest building. There was no Liberty Place and none of that. None of that stuff even existed. The tallest building was William Penn. As a matter of fact, one of the little urban legends of Philadelphia, that if anybody built a building taller than William Penn, the city got cursed. That's the true thing. Look it up. We couldn't win a game for jack. For a very long time, we couldn't win a game. And then one day, when we won against the Sixers, and everybody was walking through the street like, clean sweep, and the curse was broken. But, yep, that was one of the curses, yep. We weren't going to win anything if you built anything taller than William Penn. But yeah, it would have been the 70s. Oh my goodness. Do you have any idea? I'm remembering some of that. How Penn's Landing, Penn's Landing was freaking magical, man. It was magical. There were like flowers and all kinds of stuff. It was magical. I was a kid at the time I came up here. But yeah, I remember that, man. And I wanted to live in the city so bad, like so bad. Because we go back and I'd be in the suburbs of Delaware. And then up there in the city, man, it was amazing. It was always hustle and bustle and people moving and going here and going there. It was excitement going around all the time. I could never understand why my brother always played the stereo system. This stereo was on 24/7. Oh my goodness. Now I remember the furniture. We had the section furniture that you piece together, and those great big huge spiral lamps that went up in the air with the lights on them. They looked like freaking giant mushrooms. And he had a Pioneer rack system. Remember that? They had an Atari, and they had freaking Betamax. Oh yeah, definitely. We were in the 70s, yeah. Because I remember he had a Betamax. We watched movies on Betamax. I remember that. That's crazy. Wow. That's way back, man. That is way, way back. How do you forget about that stuff? So it pops up in your head. Yeah, but I fell in love with Philly. That's when I first saw it. Fell in love with Philadelphia. Sorry, everything about it was magical. I love Philly. And even when I came up here and we lived in we didn't live in downtown. Because again, downtown's expensive, but he had money, Even when we lived in the Badlands at the end of the day, I still love Philly. Still love it. No matter what I went through, what happened to me in Philly, Philly's still my home at the end of the day. I still love Philly. I just had to leave because it was time for me for something to change. I've been in Philadelphia for a very long time. It was time for me to change and go. So I came up here, but mostly I came up here because of my mother. My mother was old, and I didn't know how long she was going to be living. So I made it so I can come up here and be closer to her, and I'm glad I did. But yeah, that was still had a ball in Philly. I still come up from time to time to Philly. They got a lot of people out here, a lot of friends out here, a lot of ties up here. Especially when the Eagles win. I'm definitely down there. Body armor and all, I'm there. I love Philly, but I'm wearing my body armor. I'm sorry, I'm wearing my body armor. With my light armor. Because after what I saw in that last one, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Someone fired up a full empty that clip. They got him. I don't know what he was thinking at the end of the day. But he fired a full clip in the car. Them bullets got to come down somewhere, Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking at the end of the day, firing off them rounds like that. Pop, 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 pop. Are you kidding me? That's bad enough. I mean, you keep it up, they're gonna ban that whole event at the end of the day. You're gonna mess it up for the rest of us. That's when the Phillies won the championship. And everybody was downstairs all over the place having fun. And we're down at City Hall. They had a couple of bonfires. You don't like bonfires, nothing big. Nobody was breaking any glass. Nobody was looting, none of that stuff. It's just a bunch of people dancing in the street having fun. Oh, we had a ball, man. Fire department's out there carrying on, having fun. Police were out there having fun. They were flashing the lights all up in the street while people were dancing and everything. We had a ball. Everybody was acting chill. But this one guy, he tried to pick up this trash can that I throw it to the window. He got tackled, man. We're not having that. Take that nonsense someplace else. We're trying to come down here and keep this party going without all of us getting in any kind of trouble. The last thing we need is that dumb nonsense. But anyway, yeah, we had a ball. And as a tradition in Philadelphia is to climb the poles. So we all do it. You climb the poles. That's the tradition. Well, it's likely to bring one up and down, or two of them. But that's where the grease came from. So they put this really heavy, thick grease all over the poles. Yeah. So you having a bump in one of these things, if you're intoxicated, your jersey is wasted. Yeah, that grease is impossible to come out. But yeah, they grease the poles from keeping us from climbing up there. Because we're going to climb up there every single time. It's tradition. It's now tradition. It's been tradition. And last time they took the pole. Because I literally saw 8 or 9 people carrying one. I was like, huh. Souvenir. And yeah, we have a ball. And that's funny. What I like about sports is the fact that you don't even know that person at the end of the day. You probably never seen that person today at all. But because we all wear green, we're family. That's crazy. I don't even know you from a can of beans. But you got on Eagles like me. We both got on green at the end of the day. You my brother. You invited to tailgate parties. You're invited to freaking whatever they're having up there. You're invited to it. They're having a party at a bar. You come to green. Hey! Yeah. Meet a whole bunch of friends. That's what sport gatherings should be about. Not people fighting and trying to murder each other. Everybody just getting together and having a good time. I have no idea why people fight other people from other teams. Are you getting paid that money? Are you getting any of that money? That guy down there is basically playing with your name on his jersey. You're getting a cut of his check. You can get into that, right? So what the frick are you down there throwing fists for? They're looking at you like, look at this freaking idiot right here, up here fighting, man. You be giving my team a bad name. And you're going to get thrown out or get banned. Got season tickets unrefundable. Yeah, how that sound at the end of the day? Because you want to get mad at somebody else because they said something about your team. Big deal. You ain't getting paid at the end of the day. I mean, you can have your team spirit. When they beat your butt, then you just go celebrate. Do a little chicken dance, whatever you got to do, blah, 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 whatever, have your fun. But if you're in there throwing punches, you're going to get an assault charge, get sued probably, hit somebody, anybody, and that's a $50,000 lawsuit in court. It's an assault charge. You get you for 50 grand. So you're going to get $50,000 taken out of your freaking cut, your paycheck, whatever. They're going to sue you and go through that nonsense because you threw a punch. And then get banned out of the stadium for some dumb nonsense. Yeah, good luck with all that. And you ain't go to jail at that. You got to spend your night in jail. On some freaking cold cement floor, freaking hardwood and torture rack bench, freaking thick cheese sandwiches. It's cold in there. Because I've been in there for doing dumb stuff. And that's what you're going to be going through. When you could be home in your warm bed, chilling. Go to your refrigerator, whatever the freak you want. Instead of being in that place with a bunch of strangers. Because you felt the need to be an idiot. Oh, that's not even necessary. Enjoy the game, have fun. Somebody else want to be a jerk, let them be a jerk. Because where they going, I guarantee you, they're not going to be happy about it. Good luck on that cold floor. Sitting there freezing to death. And no, they don't bring you blankets. Yeah, just enjoy the game. That's all. Get in there, enjoy the game. I literally think that's the end of the day. Anybody caught fighting, automatically banned. You should be banned for life. But then again, there'll be nobody there. That'd be frank. There won't be nobody in there to watch the game. Everybody be banned. People do too much. Oh my God, they got to do something. They got to fine y'all something. Take some money out of y'all. That's what they fine y'all. Take some money out of y'all. Keep y'all fine. It'd be like a $500 fine. You won't be in there swinging no piss and get $500. Yeah, nobody trying to do no $500. $500. Jeez, that's like, really? Because they're gonna make money off you. They're gonna make money. If I was controlling all that at the end of the day, and I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do about the fighting? Let's just bill them $500. $500. Every time I break, you paying for you giving us money at the end of the day. So we making money off your tickets, and we gonna make money off your stupidity. And it ain't even worth getting in a fight. Now I think if you guys got that kind of mentality, yeah, you make some money off y'all. I'm dead serious. Make some money off y'all. We can fine you, or if it's a light fight, something at the end of the day, put you in a ring, put a camera on you, give you some big blow-up gloves so you can't hurt each other, and y'all just going to swing it out. That's basically about it. Whoever lands that many punches, they win the argument. That's it. See? Nobody get hurt. It's funny. Everybody can laugh out of it. And you pay a little money just to go swing your arms around. See? Got to find better solutions than people doing dumb stuff, hurting people, and up there and carrying on. And if you hurt somebody, you should get an automatic ban. You should never ever come back. Ever. And they should charge you on top of that. you're gonna get in an argument over freaking a player that you don't even make his money at the end of the day. You don't even get paid. He don't pay you nothing out of his check, not a thing. I can never understand that. I'd be like, you making his money? Is he paying you? Oh, we're not paying you, right? You didn't get none of that. What are you about to make, right? Okay, okay. Why are you throwing fists up here for that nonsense? Looking like a complete idiot on camera. And you know how social media work. Once they get you on camera, you're all over the place. You're gonna turn around to make you out of an internet meme after that. Good luck on that nightmare too. Like, who's that female? That female, the Philly Karen, the one that wanted to snatch that ball from the kid. She snapped over the ball. She is done, man. She destroyed her life over being selfish over a little kid and a ball. It actually sparked something nice out of it all, because now anyone who gets the ball automatically gives it to a kid. Had a good gesture. So that's fantastic. I like that at the end of the day. You know, people catch a ball to give it to a kid, because nobody wants to be hurt at the end of the day. Nobody wants to be hurt. So yeah, she got banned from all sporting events in Philly. Not just Philly games, all sporting events. Yeah. And people just don't like her. Yeah, lost her job. It can't be affiliated with that. Like, heck no. We can't have you working for us. Look at the crap you just did. That's gonna come back to bite me in the face. Nope, gotta let you go. Yeah, don't pay to be a jerk. Not in the digital era, don't. Everybody can see you. Wanted that ball from that little boy at the end of the day. Come on now. Don't argue that man down. He just gave her the ball. You know, I feel like put up with it. Ever since that's her nightmare, man. The minute that ball transferred to her hair, her nightmare began. Yep. Started a good tradition. People give away the balls for the kids for free. People catch, you give their balls for free. That's cool. And her, well, that's it for her. It's first time going to a game. That's cool. So you can take a ball out of a kid's hand. That's just new. And now it just started a new tradition. Every time somebody catches the ball, to get to a kid. That's cool. I like that. One stick at a time. One stick at a time. Good gracious. Well, at least we haven't done cuckoo for Cocoa Pops yet. Oh, don't get on my stairs, man. Don't get on my stairs. I worked hard on those stairs. Rather take the burn. Mess up my stairs. I think what I'm going to do is I want a couple of dragons in that enchanted forest. So we're going to take clear pipe cleaners and some of that cotton, and we're going to make smoke rings with it. It's actually going to move. A chase system. So it shows the dragons playing with fire. And of course, when they have these little fire contests and stuff like that, they're on the shore because they want to be nowhere near the woods, so they don't start any fires. This is some pretty cool stuff we're going to design. I think I am going to write a book on this. Yeah, I gotta get this bigger spot. I want to actually add to this. I want to build a library. I think the library is going to be controlled by mice. The mice are going to control the library. And Enchanted Mice, of course. They're the book readers. So we'll have them control the library. So here, put all these books in. We'll make all the books by hand, one by one. Then we got those builds to finish over there. They got to be done. The bigger ones, they got to be finished off too. Let's see where you sit at over here. All right, so you're right here. Right here. Let me see. You come in. You're right there. So we have to get. We have to get from here to here. It has to be done. So that's it. We're gonna start putting that in too also. Hopefully we get this done before Christmas. Some of the heavier parts of it all, we can decorate it for Christmas. It'd be nice. So let's get this trimmed off. We can get it on this without hitting anything there. Because it's that nice little ruffle look to it. We don't want to look too straight. I'm going to give it more of a crooked kind of style to it. It's still under my chair. Really? The bag get magnetically stuck to my freaking stand. Jish. Okay, that's part of my whatchamacallit right there. Put this up in here. Got a piece of wood that's pushed in. Put that right there. So right here, this is where the water pushes through here. Chance of getting here, get all that painted in. We'll be working on the scenery for that tomorrow. And this high ridge piece, we're going to have another one on this side too. So we're going to get some twigs. We're going to bring the twigs through here, punch a hole through here, bring the twigs through there, put in a nice little tree area right here. And we're going to put a little tree house in there. Little lights up in there too for little kids. We got the little tree house set up over there. Allow this to overlap just a little bit. Make sure everything's not as good. Okay, we're not hitting anything. Let me put this in. This is going to be our little marketplace. Half Moon Market. I think we'll go at Half Moon Market. We still have the banners to put out. So we have the banners for each one to explain what each store is. Moon Market. Half Moon Market, where our prices are half off. Come on, no Spider-Man hands. Come on. Spider-Man fingers. They're gonna stick to me. When we get done all these, I have to work on a Willy Wonka. I want to build a Willy Wonka since I was a kid. Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory. I'm gonna make one. Beneath the shoes. I thought that was so magical when I was a kid, watching Willy Wonka with Gene Wilder in it. Oh my goodness, man. I'm watching it again tonight. I'm watching it tonight. I have not seen that. I've seen the one they did with Johnny Depp. Very nice, nicely done, but I still like the classic. I still like it. So I'm telling you, he was one twisted dude at the end of the day. That whole freaking so and rowing and so and slowing, and man, I'm like, oh man, this guy's like a little dark over here, but yeah, he's a funny guy, man. When you come to him, the world's all beautiful and everything, like the Wizard of Oz, where everything is in black and white, and then all of a sudden it turns into color. I thought that was amazing. That was amazing, right there. But man, when that witch popped up, boy, that was some scary stuff for me right there. That was some scary stuff, man. Everybody's all celebrating. Ding dong, the witch is dead, the witch is dead, the witch is dead. And boom, that female popped up out of nowhere. She was ticked. Well, she was something else, man. She made a threat. She stuck with it. With the fire scared crowd and then lit them on fire. She was not one to play with. But yeah, I like that, man. I like the Wizard of Oz. My favorite. My favorite, man. That was very good, good. Show, it was amazing. That's why kids should watch stuff like that. Sparks imagination. That's what it does. We had a big green chair when I was a kid. Big green chair, and a dark green chair, and it had kind of a cherry oak woodwork on it. And that chair was bigger than me. And I sit in that chair, my legs would rise up a little bit because they didn't want to go quite down, because, you know, as a kid. And I remember when that witch came up. I knew, because we watched it every Easter. We watched The Wizard of Oz every time. And I just timed it now. I knew when this witch was going to pop up. Man, I was ready for it. I was going to hide behind that chair, and she was not going to get me. She was not going to see me. The biggest fear was she thought she saw me. Because, you know, and the way they did the camera work, she would look right into the camera, right dead into the camera. Like she was looking right at you. And I was terrified that she was looking at me. And I was going to hide behind that chair, and she wasn't going to be to see me. But I always get the timing off every single time. I'd always get the timing off when she would pop up and run behind that chair as fast as I could and peek behind it because I didn't want to miss it. But I was scared to death of that witch. No, that's your sister. She's far worse. Man, she was no joke. somebody put a meme on she was riding on the bike, talking about the original Karen, That's the original OG Karen. Yeah, because she was no joke, man. She was mean as I don't know what. So she gonna cook her dog or essentially gonna do something to her dog. No, she gonna take her home to the vet and had him euthanized. She was mean, man. She was no joke. Yeah, she was no joke. She was talking about getting the dog euthanized because, you know, Toto kept chasing her chickens. And she was saying, look, next time I catch a dog up here, I'm going to get rid of him. And she came up there to get the dog and all that broke loose over there. Now, can you imagine that Toto was a pit bull? That'd have been a different story at the end of the day. That'd have been a different story. We was cracking on there. Imagine if Toto was a pit bull and the ruby red slippers were Air Jordans. Yeah, that'd have been hilarious, man. Toto was a pit bull. She would not be coming up to the house. Definitely would not be coming up to the house. She'd be going out like, look, you got a dog over there? And yeah, if you could do me a favor, can you keep him away from the chickens? Like, I ain't trying to really start anything, you know what I mean? Like, get a head start. Yeah, but she was nasty. She was a nasty piece of work, boy. But, man, if that was made in our century, I'd have been a whole different way. But still, I like the Enchanted Witch. It's beautiful. I love it. But they were terrified of that witch. That witch was something else. I guess what? So I guess okay. They had territories. Witch of the North, Witch of the East. They had territories of which areas they were allowed to basically control. Right. Terrified people in those areas. So yeah, they were allowed to control. So I guess her sister was one. It was far worse about all of them. Yeah, but she had magic. She did have magic. She had magic. She had spells. She had a, whatchamacallit, she had a crystal ball that she saw things in and she cast spells in it. That's what she did. But she did have power to a certain degree. And she could fly. She had an enchanted broom. She definitely could fly. Oh, man. I forgot about that part. That's another part that gave me freaking nightmares in that. I loved it, too. But when she was on the broom, and she was going past the house in a tornado, and she turned into that witch and took off, oh, my goodness, man. That freaked me out when I was a kid. That really freaked me out when I was a kid, man. When she saw that old woman on the broom, on the bike, and she was laughing, and she turned into that witch and took off. I was like, that still freaks me out to this day. Like, snap. That was crazy. Definitely crazy. Judy Garden, that's a shame. Yeah, what happened to her? That's a shame. Hollywood. Still a beautiful show. That Lion had to be a black man. Lion didn't play around. Lion didn't stick around. He did not stick around. But like I said, now! And the Lion took off running. He jumped through the window. The Lion was not one to be played with. He was out. He was out. Then he got to tell Lion twice. Lion was out. Alright, we got a nice rickety stairs put in. I like that. We got everything after that done. It's done right there. What do we got here for time? What's my time? Oh, we're at 9:52. Yay! I don't think I'm over my time here. Like, oh my goodness. We're over time. Having some Murgatroyd. Tackle's over there chilling. Are you chilling? Alright, I'm going to do this one this way. Because this is the way the pattern of the roof goes. It's going to go that way. For that. So, excuse me. Pardon me. like, I speak French. You speak French? Kiss my butt. Part my French. Funny. Can we get you angled to where we need you to be at? Oh, Smokey and the Bandit series. Miss those. I miss the Smokey and the Bandit. I think we do something different with you. I like this, but I want to do something different. Smokey and the Bandit. Man, everybody wanted the Trans Am with them T-tops when Smokey and the Bandit came out. Everybody. My brother had one. Yeah, one in high school. Firebird. Oh, yeah, Firebird. With the T-tops. Yeah, with a Firebird. He had one in high school. Can you imagine that's your car in high school? It's a T-top. Pontiac Firebird. That is your car. Sheesh. They drove muscle cars. Both him and my brother drove muscle cars. I guess that was the thing then, you know. Because that's what everybody usually had. They had the hottest cars. 70s and 60s, man. 60s, 70s. That cars were gorgeous. I do like the 50s. I like the 57 Chevy, which is one of my favorite vehicles. I do like the 57. The wing tail 57 Chevy, I like them. So yeah, I'll say yeah. 50s, 60s, 70s. 70s had some amazing cars. Vans. All that stuff. I got a chance. Most people go to car shows and you go to check out those vehicles. Those vehicles are on the street in people's parking lots. People's driveways and on the street and right there. Same cars you see when you go to a freaking car show and you go, wow, it's the same car I remember when I was a kid seeing right across the street from my house or right next to my house. Somebody owned that car. And now those cars now are considered to be classics. Which is interesting because you got people from the 50s who, same cars you see in the car show, and the cars are sitting right in people's driveways. Yeah! That went down badly. That's what I find interesting about people's trash back then. It's not worth money today. So a poor man who felt he had nothing at all was actually rich, but he was in the wrong time. If he was in our time and he had that stuff, he'd be rich in the wrong time. Which is kind of interesting when you think about it. So if you lived in the era of the Titanic, what, 1920s? 1920s is Titanic, I think it is. The 1920s? Was it Titanic in the 1920s? Actually, farther back than that. Yeah, 1920s. Let me see. Whoa. No, the Titanic was not 1920s. It was 1912. Yeah, 1912. So 1912, you're trash. Even though at that particular time you consider that what could be low bottom, whatever it was worth a lot of money today. A lot of money today, which is crazy when you think about it, because of the time zones. So gee whiz. If he hadn't calculated exactly, let's see, what would be a proper time that you would still be functioning? If you would have timed it just right, roughly you would have been in your 60s or 70s. You would have been worth a lot of money. Anything you had would have been worth some. If you had some crazy stuff, obtained some crazy stuff, you'd been worth a lot of money. Baseball cards, all that stuff, that's what's worth a lot of money. If you were born in the 1960s, how old would you be right now? If you were born in 1960, age, you would turn 65. So 65. So in the 1950s, if you had any form of vintage comic books, baseball cards, I would say name brand designer clothing, would it be worth money? China, jewelry, stuff like that from that era, basic stuff, that stuff is worth some good amount of money. The 1940s. If you were born in the 1940s, how old would you be now? So you'd be 85, 84. That'd be pushing it right there. Some people do live to be that long. But still, I would take it at 50. I'd take it at 1950. 1950 to 65 ain't bad at all, period. That ain't bad at all. 60 to 65 ain't bad. Yeah. You know, it'd be worth a lot of money. Kids' toys. Toys are worth a lot of money. A lot of money. So if you had Barbies from the 1950s, they're worth a lot of money. A lot of money. What about Barbies? Especially if you had the popular ones. 'Cause it wouldn't be hard to get the popular ones because they're right there. I would buy the popular toys. What's a popular Barbie doll from the 1950s that's worth money today? Let me see. Most popular Barbie from the 1950s, an original. So an original Barbie came out in 1959. Do you have any idea? I'm curious how much that would be worth. Whew. All right. Yes. Okay. So if you had an original Barbie, because you would be able to obtain it because you'd be in the era. If you had an original Barbie from 1929 and mint condition, never opened in the box, knowing what you would know now, that doll is worth $27,000. So if you bought a bunch of those, like about 100 of those, you'd be worth a pretty penny today. 100 mint condition, yeah. Wow, that's crazy. So Barbie came out there on that era? Now, if you had a limited edition model, you're talking about some very serious money. So yeah. $27,000 in mint condition. I would have bought 100. I'm sorry. I'd have bought I'd have bought $500 worth of them. $500. I'd have bought 500 Barbies in that time. Because that'd be worth a lot of money now. They're cheap. Let me see. How much was a Barbie doll in 1960? How much was a Barbie doll in 1960? So a doll would have cost you $3. $3, and that doll is now worth $27,000. That's a massive come up right there. So if you had got a Barbie doll, I say 100 of them, 500 of them, and you had a mint condition, sitting in a box, never touched, never opened, and in today's time, they're worth $27,000 a pop. Do you have any idea? That's retirement right there. At $3 a pop? Shoot. Let me see at the end of the day. I'd have bought 1,000 of them suckers. But you know, a kid's gonna open it up, play with it, toy with it, whatever, so and so and so. No one's gonna think about that in this era right now. They're not gonna think about that. So, let me see, roughly. So if you would have spent $3,000, $3,000 you invested in 1,000 of these dolls at $27,000 a pop today, that's a lot of freaking money. That's what you would have with 1,000 of those dolls. Yeah, nice return. That's a nice piece of change, right? Nice piece of change. Rare toy of the 1950s worth a lot of money today. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I had one of those. Right there, the Batman, I had one of those. Later on in time, but that was born in 1968. So I had one of these. My mother gave me one of these before. A lot of this stuff was in thrift stores. A lot of this stuff was in thrift stores. So I'm curious. No. I want to go to AI. Forget that crap. G.I. Joes. I'm curious. The original Super Soakers. I got 8 of those. Original Super Soakers, original ones still in the package. I have 8 of them. Looking on the Vintage Toy Store. Not a Vintage Toy Store, it's a store that the guy just never really got rid of the inventory, and I bought all his stuff up. But at 57, I'm not doing anything with that stuff. I'm going to give it to my my sister's son. He can have it all, because I'm not going to do anything with it. And I stopped collecting a long time ago, so he's in my will. When I die, he's going to get both warehouses full of my collections, all my vintage games and stuff like that. He's going to get everything, because I can't sell it, because, you know, it's collection. And I can't take it with me, so he'll get more enjoyment than I will out of it. Hopefully he sells it off and gets something out of it, because I got a lot of stuff in there. All right, let me put you over here. Getting there, getting there. So that's interesting. Yeah, I can't see myself ever partnering with him. But he's going to get all of it anyway. Makes no difference to me. That's the only one I can pick out, because he's a collector. He collects everything. I'm like, my goodness, he's just like me. I'm like, okay. Well, I know who to hand it over to when my time comes. I even have the laser tag. I got those. And the Transformers, G.I. Joe, Thundercats. And I got a Barbie doll. Not from that era, but I have Barbie dolls from the roughly from the late 60s. And a few My Little Ponies. I even have the Dungeons and Dragons original board games, and Mr. T's board game, Sesame Street's board game. I have a bunch of them on there. Bunch of board games. All mint condition, all wrapped, because I didn't buy anything that was in. Had to be mint condition and wrapped, still sealed. I still have a 1960 laser gun around here somewhere. There's a guy who had a whole bunch of them in a box in a convenience store. He didn't know what he had. And I bought the whole box of them off him for 50 bucks. Those guns came around in the 1960s. I'm pretty sure that the paint on them is toxic. Definitely know that from the door. Oh, spark guns. They used to have the vehicles that you would ram up and sparks would come out of them, but they got rid of those because those caused fires. But the original ones worth money. All right, got a nice little roof done right there. Back area right there. Kind of nice right there. Come hither. Fits in nicely, nice and snug, right in there. Yep, not even touching it, which is good. Because it can't touch, because again, if it does, it throws it off. So we got our nice little rickety little porches right here. Our staircase to go with it. Little bags of flowers. So we have to come and clean all this up. All this string has to come up before we can even start a paint job on here. So it's good to get back into this. We got a paint job to do. Gotta start putting in our river. So I'm gonna finish the detail job first. What do we have left on here? We got that tower. We still got to be detail work on it. So I think tomorrow I'm going to work on the tower and the church. The church has individual cobblestones on the roof. All this has to be done. And we can put little individual stones in there for that. That's going to be a job. I'm putting it off for the last one because that's going to be a job by itself. And this is our tavern right here. That's the first building we put together. That's the tavern right there. The roof doesn't require much. I think I'm gonna get you out of the way since I got to do the church. There's going to be something else to do, and I still got to finish the dockyard. The dockyard is what? I still got trim work to do around that dockyard. All right, let me see. What do we got going on here? What time we have? We're at 11 o'clock. So let me see. Would it take me an hour to knock this out? This is a pretty big roof here. Let's see if we can get it done. How much glue do we have left? Ooh, we got 2 sticks of glue. So let's see what we can do. So Craftsman, our little elf, actually groups of elves. We're going to start working on this part, so at least we can have the tavern owner happy, because we did start the work on his side. You guys starting? We're coming over right now to start installing your shingles. Cutting out your lumber. Good, we gotta come here and drink anyway tonight. get you over here. Let me break this up so I'm coloring it all over the place. Alright, heave-ho, let's get this done. Alright, let's get you where you need to be done. Perfect, that fits in there nicely. Might be a good job, make it all done. Guess we're gonna have to leave thinner ones, much thinner ones to get in that little area. We may be done. Oopsie, I should check out my tavern. Got the thing tangled all around here. Good gracious. Tangled around everything. Jeez. Forgot to sit down for this one. Yeah, I'm not gonna do this. Really? We keep dropping these things. We'll never get this done. Alright, let me see. Whew, we went through all of those. Look at this. Said if we get the one side done, they're going to promise us a pint of ale. 3 pints. If we get one side finished. I think we're going to get our pint. And there's no beer here. It's root beer. Yep, all root beer. All root beer. Special type of root beer. That's the type of root beer you can get in your stores. I got myself a medieval mug coming in so I can drink at the tavern. inside, and we can get to our 4 pints. That's not any worse than the freaking clock tower. The clock tower, man, the clock tower is work. But the freaking water tower is bigger than the clock tower, so it's wider. So that is going to be some work. But that church, man, that thing's got to be put in with the cobblestones, man. The cobblestones. The cobblestones. Yes, we have our last one. Yay! Oh, there's 2 sticks over here. I didn't see. Let's see if we can get for the other side. Can we get the other side too? Oh. That's to be pumpkin pie for dinner tonight. You paid shrine, you know what I'm talking about. Got that one side done. Now we got to knock out the other side, which actually should not be that bad because we have a tower on this side. So it should be much easier. So we should be good. We should be able to knock this whole thing out. Okay. Yippee-ki-yay, Taco. Yippee-ki-yay. I'm going to knock this thing out and be done. I forgot we put a tower on this side. Oh, let me see. I need the cardboard. Yes. So wait, we get 4 pints and we finish one side. That means they give us 8. We get 8 pints. Yes. We're gonna be drinking, be merry tonight. Fill with spirit. We get it for free, by the way. Because he wants the roof done. He's a wealthy tavern owner. Alright, I need my shingles on. You can get my shingles on one side of the roof, at least get that done. I will promise you 4 pints. For each man. If you get both done, there'll be 8. I gotta buy myself some root beer now, because I need to drink. I gotta have my drink when they're having their drink. We'll have to see. Next time we'll have root beer. I'll buy some root beer. Alright. Let's begin. We should have enough from this one. I'm right around the corner. I should have like disappeared around the corner. I think one more should be enough. So we're gonna need. All right, let me put these aside over here. All right, let's see. We got what we got here. We can get this done. I'm glad I didn't put this off, because I was supposed to go, no, we'll do it tomorrow. And someone said, no, get it done now. You're here now. And you got time. So So get it done. Giddy up. No slacking off. We're gonna get our 8 pints. You hear them like, roll out the barrel. Too soon, I know, but I'm just hearing it in my head now. You hear a bunch of people singing in the tavern right now. They're putting the shingles on. I can't remember they're singing the songs. Well, the barrel would be a little too soon, you know. Maybe, I don't know. I'll look that up now. See, I gotta look it up now. I'm not sure. All right, gentlemen, up to the rooftop we go. I'm trying to put another one right here because I like want this shingle to stand out a little bit more. Reflects to that one. There we go, that's better for me. Let's begin and send to the roof. All right. I think I'm gonna have a whole wild hen for dinner. I'm thinking about their era, not mine. Ouch, 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 ouch. Oh, got some movement in there. Some movement. Nice. Taking too well. Gotta take. There we go. What's going on with you? There we go. In there. What our last one? Uh-oh. Was that our last one? Oh, no, it's one on the side. Gee whiz, I took one on the side. Took on the side. About to say, I know that wasn't on my last one. I saw one over there. This would be our last glue stick. Can you get it done? We can get it done. We have more than enough to get the job done. Alright, that's one for the top. Oh, she didn't want to go in. She's in. It's nothing. Don't try to fight us. Oh, we need more cuts. Come on, a couple more pieces and we can get something to drink. We got a couple here. We got one going in for the top. That's in. We don't have to cut any more wood, would be nice. Any more? Have to be another one around here. Come on, a couple few chips here. Got one there. That's one. One going into the top. Yeah. All right. Cut a couple more. Yeah, good to go. One more small piece and we are done. Yeah. It's time to drink, gentlemen. It's time to drink. Wait, I want to do a little bit more work down here. Oopsie. Let me just stay with me. I want to basically detail that a little bit more in there, and then we can go drink. It's always that one last guy at the end of the day. You know, the one that basically just has to say, like, you know what, I'm not going to be satisfied with this. If I'm not satisfied with this, I'm not going to come back here. Okay, come on. He's going to finish up a little bit more here, and then we're already done. He wants more better detail. Why not? It's what we do. Go on, get off of that. Don't be sticking in there. Get open. There we go. Yeah, you happy? I'm happy. Are you sure you're happy? No. We need one more piece to complete. I can see it right there. One more piece in there. Then I will be happy. You happy now? I am happy now. All right, let's go get something to drink. Let's go make merry and get drunk. We can't get drunk. Well, we do get drunk off root beer. But we know how to control our alcohol. We don't get too much town mischief. Okay, let's get all this cleaned up the roof. Yes. We'll come back in. Oh, we did the window trim all that. Okay, okay, good. Yes, we got a nice little tavern. Looks kind of nice right there. Yeah. Time to go drink, gentlemen. Just drink and make merry. Do. Dinner and you're already having a ball. Time for us to go in. Gentlemen, we must be sober tomorrow. We have to go work on the church. So please, make it there early. Even though tonight we are going to get drunk. I can hear the music playing right now. Time to go drink. Get some food. That's the music we play. Time for us to go drink. Wear tools. Great evening. I got majority most of the shingles done. I know. I'm thinking about it too myself. I'm thinking like we could add something to this. We have enough glue for it. We can make one fast too. It's interesting because I can hear the guy saying, by any chance, can I trouble you on putting a door on for me? I'm like, yes, we can do a door. A door's pretty fast for us to do. All right. We're a little drunk though, but we're gonna get it done. We can do this while we're drunk. Once I built a house, I was stinking drunk. I still can't find the door. And they're all laughing like, we haven't gone here. All right. The size of your door. Right here and here. But you're supposed every time. No. We can easily put a door in. Not a problem. It's easy to do. We must have a door. All right, begin the process of your door. All right, here we go. Reason why it's not a problem because our tools are enchanted. So everything in this whole kingdom is enchanted. Maybe it's the same piece. I could. Did I drop it? I did drop it. Oh. Oh, Spider-Man hands. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. That's better. That's better. Oh, it's way too long. Let's play that one again. All right, your door. Let's put your boarding around it. Not a problem, sir. This is what we do. Tomorrow we will install in the rest of the detail work, and we'll actually start putting in the tavern sign, which we'll definitely need that. So we're going to call the tavern the Happy Spirit. Half Moon Market, Happy Spirit, and I have no idea what I'm going to call the word else. We'll get to it. Alright. My kind sir. Your door has been designed. So enchanted weapons means that doors have special abilities, which means this keeps out mischief trolls. Maybe trying to snicker and get some free booze, drinks, or whatever they call it. They cannot enter the door. Oh no, we're at the very little last. I wonder if I have anything in my drawer. Is there anything in there? No! sticky fingers, pull that off. What the freak? We were on there. We had it. We had it. I'm trying to figure out my hands in there to push that through a little better. We had it. Can't rob us of it. Oh. Can we get your door on tonight? Let's see. We have one lipstick in there. One lipstick. That's all we need is just one. If we don't, we can put the door on tomorrow, but I'd rather put it on tonight. Let's see. Everything is jammed up in here for some strange reason. Nothing wants to move. My friend, we may not be able to put your door on, but at least it's built. At least it's built. That indeed. Nothing on the table. Oh, it's just a door. What is this thing jammed on? That it doesn't want to move for me. Alright, whatever. I'll go grab some more tomorrow. Oh. I wonder. I do wonder. Let me see something. Where's my door at? Come on, hurry up for the glue dries. Ha! Really? Oh, it sticks. It doesn't seem like it's going to, but it should. I'll leave it plugged in just in case I find one of you guys on the floor. I'm not gonna have it drop these things all over the floor. But till then, at least we can go to the tavern and drink. The door is on, but it's not on fully on. But just enough to hold it on. So at least that's something there. If I didn't go overboard and put those absolute shingles on, I would have had enough stuff. We gotta come back tomorrow anyway.
This shop owner is happy.
He's happy. At least we have a door there. So it was just open. Any goat, sheep, anything, wildlife could just walk up in there. So at least that's something there. And we got the shingles finished. So that's good. Tomorrow we should pick up a bounty of enchanted glue sticks. Finish the work. We have plenty of cardboard. order some stuff. Large box came through, so we have plenty of cardboard to finish our build. Where are you? Oh. Where's the potato chip? Where's the chip? Okay. Let's put you over there. So I know where my other one went to. Couldn't track that thing down, so where's the my other bag of flour go? Need you to go in there. Come here. Need you to come here, over here. Get you all situated over here. Come on, be nice. Get in there. I'm gonna go over here. Oh, be nice. Stay right there, please. You're gonna go there. You're gonna go here. You're gonna go there. You're gonna go here. Choose that. Over there. Okie dokie. And our battery's down on our phone. Of course. Get up in there. Okay. Cleaning up the workshop. Oh. Yeah. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Here you go. What do you think, Paco? All right, that's running pretty good. Okay, cool. Still want to put some more in there, but that's running pretty good. Let's get the town cleaned up. That bag of flour belong over there. All right, that's part of that. You're not there. Town cleaned up here. Oops, chips all over the place. That's one right around the corner. There. Corner over here. Away. Pins up. Scissors up. Unplug the glue gun. Let's see, able to cool down a bit. Alright. We have for your fire stick. There you go. Before we start painting, we want to vacuum all this out. Let's get you taken care of. Let's see, like Mr. Bean. Put that on there for you. Oh, you got to be kidding me. We're almost out of here. The bag, like I dropped the box. It has all the chips in it and cardboard chips in it, and well, okay, not too many fell out, just one or two. All right, fantastic. That's great. Let's do the cleanup. All right, cool. Let's get this back to where it belongs. So we have a lot of clutter. We're rebuilding it. Everything's back in order. I just got all this organized. Put everything back to where it was. Not stand clutter. Everything has to be organized. Everything has to be in its place. Give me a little clutter in there. Okay, let's see. Scenery. Put all this up. This away. This stuff to use for scenery. Go. And I got nothing on my boxes yet because I need these for work. Woo! Thank you, Jesus. All right. How about your? Did your cartoons come on? Oh, no. Okay, cool. All right. So we got the little door already set up for, and there's shingles and everything on. So we're gonna put this one over here. The door shut when they're drinking. Our door. Got a little bit of what do we have on here? There we go. There. And you put a freezer here. Just going over for a minute. What's you there for me? You know what's up in the together? I'm sitting on you tomorrow. If we had to put our windows on the outside and take the trim around, I can basically connect you that way. You churches. It's getting there. Piece by piece, it's getting there. Man, I'm telling you, it's turned into a crazy job, man. Getting this thing completed and done. We got the doors put in. Got the doors put on that one next. These are going to be 2 open doors on this one. So we got the windows to put in. But it's getting there, piece by piece. We just did all this today. finish that over there. So we got cobblestone to put in next. All this is cobblestone over here. So we have a lot to do. And again, I saw a staircase right here where they can come down. I can see about the whole Assassin's Creed where the buildings all connected together. You can jump from roof to roof to roof. Because, man, you could parkour the daylights out of this. Anyone does parkour like, man, I could parkour the crap out of this. You're this tiny? Yeah, you'd have a ball up here, man. You jump from this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. Yeah, you'd have a ball up here. Probably climb that, most likely. Be at the top. We're going to have to put a barrel of hay down there. We just have to. I mean, it's too tempting. It's an Assassin's Creed thing going on. So we have to put a longer pillar out here, go a little farther out, and have it so you can jump off. Yeah. So there are nice little corners. That's when it just captures corners. We can get light pushing those areas. That's going to have a barn door that slides back and forth. That is our our loading dock. I think that's coming along. And I like the shingles. The shingles give it a nice touch. We're definitely shingle on the top of that. So we're going to be shingle on that too on top of that. I want it kind of a story time kind of setup in here. And there's plenty of room for the blacksmith. That's all going to light up. I want to put some extra glow where the grass is at lightly. So when that fires up, you can see basically pushing out. And of course, we have our wagon here. This is our wagon. That's going to hold some of the straw for our little water mill over there. And of course, we made ourselves a barrel out of cardboard. And that sits up here with the loading dock area. There's a flower up there. There we go. That's crazy that all this is cardboard mostly. Is it all cardboard? Yeah, the rope is the only thing I hear is not cardboard. Everything else is all cardboard. The windmill, everything's all cardboard we built in here. Even down to the barrels are all cardboard. Even down to the wagons, all cardboard. Man, this has been a crazy build, man. Crazy build. And we still have the other ones to do. I'm going to be working on, finish up the bar, get that done. We still have more trim work on this because we have to make that look more realistic like that. Has a more trim to it. We still have more work to do on the shingles here. Add more detail to it here and here. And this needs window trace out. All down here needs trace out. These have to be done to give it a more sturdy kind of more of a kind of a deck kind of pure kind of look. Because they have to stand out a little bit here and here and here. And I do want a little banister in here on this section right here. I got a ladder to put in the back that connects to that over there. And let's see what else we need at the end of the day. That needs trim. All that needs trim. That has to be done with trim. And we still have that to do. So all the windows are going to be placed on the outside. Lord, show me the way of putting the windows in. Instead of going inside and putting them in, we can put the windows on the outside and build a trim around it, which makes it so much faster. So that's what I'm going to do. When we put the scenery in, we have to put light tubes in so we can run wires and stuff back and forth and we light everything up. Because just little lights, along with the scenery, we have little lights that pop up, little corner lights, little lanterns. They're going to be made out of flowers, flower lanterns along the way. And then we have stone pillar walls and stuff like that. We have to put in a lot of freaking flowers and stuff like that because there's a lot of flowers that are going into this. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty cool when we get done with it. Can't wait. All right, hope you enjoyed. Of course, I thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because without him, none of this would ever be possible. No way in the world would have got this done without him. He's the one who gave me all the instructions how to put the whole thing together. So thank you so much, Jesus, for the wonderful build. And hope you enjoyed. I always say, seek and find God, because again, like I said, without Jesus, life is just not worth it. It just isn't. So hope you find it, hope you seek, and hope you find God at the end of the day. That being said, thank you for your time. God bless.